What's up, Dub Nation? You're tuned into Warriors News Fan Report, your one-stop shop for every beat, stat, and rumor swirling around Golden State Tan. Before we jump into the drama, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and ring the bell so you're always front and center when the next big development drops. Tonight, we've got an electrifying update on Jonathan Kuminga's future with the Dubs, paired with a tantalizing look at the top 5 players whispering through the league as potential targets for our front office. Strap in, because from insider leaks to cap sheet gymnastics, we're peeling back every layer of this story, and trust me, you don't want to miss a single second. It all started when longtime Warriors insider Monty Poole dropped a bombshell. On the latest Warriors-centric podcast, sources close to the organization believe Golden State is unlikely to move Kuminga this offseason. Despite swirling trade chatter, the prevailing sentiment is that the team sees more strategic value in holding onto Jonathan for the time being, either to let his restricted free agent value mature or to use him as a more potent trade chip after December. But that's only one piece of the puzzle. Beyond Kuminga's saga, whispers around Chase Center suggest the front office has quietly assembled a watch list of 5 marquee names, players whose skill sets could address key needs, whether it's perimeter shooting, interior defense, or secondary playmaking. Could this dual-track approach redefine the Warriors' offseason strategy? Is it possible that by balancing Kuminga's uncertain future with aggressive scouting of external talent, Golden State is engineering a master plan destined to reshape their roster? Digging into Jonathan's situation, we have to rewind to the closing weeks of the season, when Steve Kerr's puzzling rotations and late-season DMPs left fans scratching their heads. One moment, Kuminga was flashing highlight reel athleticism. The next, he was sidelined as the Warriors prioritized veterans. In a win-now push, Monty Poole's recent comments revealed that this might have been by design, a deliberate tactic to manage Jonathan's trade value and restrict his market competition when his contract becomes fully guaranteed, by keeping potential suitors guessing. Golden State might be engineering a scenario where, come December 1st, Kuminga counts at full value for salary matching purposes and commands maximum return in any sign-and-trade scenario. Could this be the chess move that unlocks a deal for a true difference maker? Or will this slow burn risk alienating a supremely talented young forward who craves a clear role and consistent playing time, while Kuminga's future hangs in the balance? Let's shift our focus to the top 5 external players on the Warriors' radar. Rumor has it that the brass is eyeing a mix of veteran sharpshooters, defensive stalwarts, and versatile wings. At the top of the list, a veteran backcourt specialist whose career three-point percentage hovers around 42%, offering the floor spacing that could reignite the Warriors' signature motion offense. Imagine pairing that dead-eye accuracy with Steph Curry's gravity. Could defenses really choose whom to guard on the perimeter? Next up is an all-defensive first-team nod recipient, a 7-footer known for shot-altering presence and rim protection. In an era where two-way switchability is gold, could this be the anchor Draymond once provided before shifting into his orchestrator role? Third on the watch list is an explosive young guard, freshly entering his prime, whose lightning-quick first step and crafty mid-range game would give Kerr another ball handler to alleviate pressure on Curry. Fourth, league insiders mention a seasoned veteran forward whose playoff experience and locker room leadership could steady a squad in flux. And finally, rounding out the quintet is a versatile wing, still on his rookie scale deal, offering upside and affordability, an element always critical under the Warriors' tight salary cap constraints. Now, let's weave these threads together. If Golden State ultimately decides to hold Kuminga past December, they preserve maximum leverage in any sign-and trade, but they also risk stalling the progression of a player who logged only spot minutes late in the campaign. Meanwhile, pursuing one of these top 5 external talents would require careful cap gymnastics. Enter the mid-level exception, traded exceptions from previous deals, and perhaps even a stretch provision or two-all tools the Warriors haven't hesitated to deploy in past championship runs. Could they convince a veteran sharpshooter to join a 4-headed monster without unsettling the chemistry that's powered 3 titles in 5 years? Is it possible that adding a defensive big man alongside Draymond and Kevin Looney could unlock a new level of switch-heavy schemes, or would it constrain Kerr's lineups too much? Fan reaction has been split down the middle. In online forums, from Reddit's are Warriors to heated live chats on YouTube, One camp argues that maximizing Jonathan Kuminga's trade value is paramount, that Golden State should flip him for a proven star now rather than gamble on his restricted free agent timeline. The other camp, equally fervent, insists Kuminga is the future, a generational athlete whose 6 feet 8 inches frame, 7 feet 0 wingspan, and burgeoning skill set could blossom into a cornerstone, provided he receives the right developmental runway. Meanwhile, whispers from TNT Studio, ESPN's insider reports, and even SFGATE's local coverage all echo a similar refrain. No team in the league navigates complex cap and chemistry considerations with more flair than the Warriors. But will that flair translate into landing one of these coveted top 5 names while keeping their young talent pipeline intact? Historically, Golden State's front office has thrived on unconventional solutions. Remember the sign-and trade that brought Kevin Durant to the Bay, or the draft night trades that netted Draymond Green and Klay Thompson? Those moves redefined not just the franchise, but the entire NBA landscape. Could the next watershed moment come from a savvy maneuver on Kuminga's contract, or from a bold acquisition of a ready-made talent who elevates the bench or bolsters a championship push? Some insiders believe that the key lies in timing. Strike early, ink a deal before July moratoriums, and use the summer league to integrate new faces. Others suggest a patient approach, wait for free agency fireworks, gauge how trade markets evolve after all-star break discussions, then pounce when value is highest. The stakes couldn't be higher. Get it right, and the Warriors extend their window. Get it wrong, and they risk a year of transitional turbulence. At the heart of this saga lies a fundamental question. What kind of identity will Golden State choose moving forward? Will they double down on veteran cohesion, electing to add a proven shooter or defensive anchor to complement their core? Or will they embrace a youth movement, banking on Kuminga and another young asset, perhaps James Wiseman or a freshly drafted rookie, while gradually offloading draft capital and salary to maintain flexibility? Could this dual strategy of hanging onto Kuminga while courting external talent be the ultimate win-win, giving the Warriors optionality that few teams can match? Only time and some deft front office maneuvering will tell. But what do you think about all of this? Personally, as a Warriors supporter, I believe that Golden State's best path lies in striking a balance, holding onto Jonathan Kuminga just long enough to maximize his value, then parlaying that into the addition of a high-impact outside shooter who seamlessly slots into Care system and preserves our trademark ball movement. If you're as hyped as I am for Warriors News Fan Report, smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of the drama in blue and gold. Picking up right where we left off, the front office at Chase Center appears to be juggling the high-stakes gambits at once, holding Jonathan Kuminga's full contract value hostage until December, while simultaneously eyeing an elite handful of game-changers who could plug directly into Steve Kerr's free-flowing system. According to the latest insider drop on news_link, Monty Poole emphasized that Golden State's patience is as much a weapon as their draft assets. Could this mean we're witnessing a masterclass in roster engineering, one that delays immediate gratification for a seismic win-now infusion? Or is it possible that dragging out Kuminga's restricted free agency risks fracturing his confidence just as a true contender emerges? Let's dive deeper into that tension. On one hand, we know Kuminga closed the season averaging 11.3 points and 4.5 rebounds in 18 minutes per game, flashing a 50% true shooting rate when given consistent looks in transition and on spot-ups. Those flashes convinced many that his 6 feet 8 frame and explosive first step could evolve into a two-way weapon, perhaps even a future defensive anchor when he adds more bulk. On the other hand, news_link also flags a league-wide consensus that the Warriors are actively scouting 5 external targets: a veteran marksman shooting 40% from 3, a first-team all-defensive center who alters to 0.5 shots per game, a lightning-quick combo guard logging 18 points and 5 assists on 50% efficiency, a seasoned playoff forward with a reputation for clutch mid-range buckets, and a high-upside rookie-scale wing still on his rookie deal. These potential additions could reshape rotations overnight, but their acquisition would require cap gymnastics involving the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, trade exceptions from past deals, and perhaps even creative use of the stretch provision to absorb salary without sacrificing the core. So what happens as July transition officially opens? Could this mean we see Golden State swing on a sign-and-trade deal for that veteran sharpshooter? packaging Kuminga's newfound full cap value plus an expiring contract say. Otto Porter Jr. to bring in 8 points per game on 44% three-point shooting. Is it possible that midseason player movement for that defensive center becomes moot? If they unlock draft night assets to select a promising big man, then sign him outright? Fans are wondering if this could be the beginning of a new chapter, where the Warriors leverage both youth and experience in perfect equilibrium. Some insiders believe that balancing these moves will keep the team below the first apron, preserving the ability to chase one more surprise free agent while sidestepping punitive tax rates. Let's consider the ripple effect on playing time. If Kuminga remains in Golden State's plans past December, his minutes could even balloon to 22 to 24 per night during the season's toughest stretch. That extra developmental runway could translate to an increase from 4.5 rebounds to perhaps 6.0 per game and push his true shooting into the mid-55% range if he embraces a more pick-and-pop role. Meanwhile, adding that top 5 rotational guard would lift scoring averages across the second unit, giving Kerr a legitimate plan B where Steph Curry sits. But will that guard's midseason integration disrupt the offensive flow that has produced over 115 points per 100 possessions? Or will the veteran sharpshooter's gravity simply open more driving lanes for Curry and Poole? Off the court, social media has exploded with fan memes and mock-up jersey reveals. On Twitter, one influential Warriors blogger posted a clip of Kuminga's monster alley-oop dunk alongside a side-by-side of the veteran marksman's corner three, asking, "Who's more vital to our title chances?" Meanwhile, on an ESPN podcast, former Warriors teammate Harrison Barnes remarked that Golden State's willingness to hold onto Kuminga feels like they see something we don't, that he could be one of the elite two-way wings in the league. Across Instagram, Warriors fan pages have been tagging Monty Poole's latest tweet nonstop, debating whether the front office is masterminding a coup or simply hedging their bets. Zooming out to the broader Western Conference landscape, every rival is on alert. The Phoenix Suns, fresh from bolstering their backcourt with a high-scoring guard, suddenly face the prospect of added sharpshooting in the Bay and a defensive anchor patrolling the paint. The Los Angeles Lakers, still recalibrating around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, must decide whether to pursue another wing or double down on roster continuity, knowing that an upgraded Warriors bench could eclipse their own. In Minnesota, the Timberwolves' rising core watches nervously, recognizing that the difference between a first-round upset and a deep playoff run frequently boils down to those crunch-time role players, the very category Golden State is targeting. Historic context underscores the weight of these decisions. Remember how the 2015 Warriors sign-and trade for Harrison Barnes transformed them from a second-round upset to a 67-win juggernaut? Or how the 2016 drip-dry deal that landed Kevin Durant shocked the league and triggered a dynasty? If Golden State executes another quiet coup this summer, whether that's retaining Kuminga to flip him for a starter or drafting a hidden gem to hit free agency undrafted, they could well set the stage for a fourth championship in the next 7 years. But get it wrong, and the cap holds, locker room chemistry, and developmental pipelines can stall, leaving the Warriors in purgatory rather than paradise. So, Warriors faithful, as the summer sun rises on this franchise's next chapter, what do you believe will define Golden State's destiny? Bold opportunism or cautious preservation? Personally, as a die-hard Warriors supporter, I believe striking while the iron is hot, locking in Kuminga's value with a strategic extension, then parlaying that into a proven shooter or defensive stalwart offers the optimum blend of immediate firepower and long-term upside. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report so you never miss another explosive update.